Hi, I'm Jeff Borham, owner of Team Borham at eXp Realty, and do you want to be a real estate millionaire? You know, I have this conversation with all of the agents on my team, all of my staff, and many of our clients, as many of you that will watch and listen to me as well. And everybody wants to be a real estate millionaire. And when you take a step back, I know that can sound overwhelming if you've never invested in real estate and you don't already have $1 million to invest and you're starting kind of from square one. Well, when we look at real estate investing, we really have to look at 4 items. We have to look at the appreciation of the property. We have to look at the cash flow created by the property. We have to look at the mortgage pay down of that debt service, and we can look at the potential tax savings or tax deferred savings by owning real estate. So if we start at the top, you gotta buy right, because you do make a lot of your money by buying the right property at the right time in the right place. And if you're in Tampa Bay, Florida, and you're buying long-term rentals and you're purchasing in, let's just say, the $300,000 to $250,000 range, we know that with a 20% down payment, which let's just call it $60,000, you can now be a real estate investor. And once you own that property, you are going to rent it out, and that's going to have cash flow. Like, of course, we're not going to buy a property that doesn't make money on a monthly basis. We need that cash flow to put in our pockets and also have that buffer in case there is something wrong with the house that needs to be fixed. There will be items that come up in a rental property, from plumbing to the AC to the roof, etc., that does take money to maintain the property so that you can continue to rent out the property. So we must have a cash flowing asset. Now, the rental market is a fantastic place to be, because once rents go up, it really takes a lot for rental rates to come down. You know, inflation doesn't really turn into deflation very often, and we have so much proof of this. In fact, if you look at the 08-09 market, which is one of the worst real estate markets ever, and definitely the worst in modern history, rental rates only went down about 10% from the Great Recession, which is complete and utter common sense because people are generally locked into 12-month leases. So there may be a dip in rental rates in year 6 in your lease, but they're still there for 12 months. And by the time the renewal comes up, rental rates may not be down at all, or they may actually be higher than they were when you rented out the property. So there's just so much value in holding rents where they are. And obviously, with us being in Tampa Bay, I mean, drive by downtown Tampa, St. Pete, or even downtown Clearwater and look at all of the development, all of the money moving into our area. So most likely you're going to see continued appreciation in those rental fees. Rents ain't going down. Let's just leave it there. They're going up, and that's just the reality of our world and how we do things here in America. We are an inflation-based society. We have to have inflation for our economy to make sense. And you better believe it that the government and the powers that be are going to make sure that inflation continues. So rental rates are going up, which is one of the reasons why real estate is one of the best hedges against inflation that exists. All of our economy, real estate's going to defeat inflation most of the time. Then we have the mortgage pay down. Every month when you pay your debt service, part of that payment is going towards the mortgage principal. Think of it like a forced savings account that's just sitting there. And most of the time, you're not going to even touch that equity that's being created in your house. So your net worth is just going up and up, and it's out of sight. You don't have to worry about it. You could be paying $250 to $300 off of that mortgage every month when it's a brand new loan. Now remember, the longer you own that loan, the more money is going towards principal and less towards interest the longer you own that home. So every single month, more money is paying down that mortgage. Basically, your forced savings account, your piggy bank, is growing in assets. Your net worth is skyrocketing through real estate, through the appreciation that's occurring and the mortgage paydown. When we look at appreciation, remember, since 1970, we're averaging 4.8% a year in appreciation. That is a huge number. And I know what many of you are saying right now. You're looking at your significant other, you're looking at your friend, and you're saying, see, I told you the stock market was a better investment than real estate. The stock market, I'm making 10, maybe even 12%, and he just said 4.8% for real estate appreciation. You got me. Here's the caveat. When you buy that rental property, you're only putting 20% down. So that's 4.8% on the totality of the price of the property. So we have to multiply 4.8% by, that's right, 5. The real appreciation number on your cash can be upwards of 24% on your initial investment. Now let's go back. What's better, 10, 12% or 20 or 24%? That's right, real estate cash on cash return with average return since 1970 beats the stock market by 2x. And that's not even taking into account the mortgage pay down, the cash flow that you're earning every single month, let alone the potential tax deferred savings that you can receive. Remember, in the state of Florida, we participate in the United States government tax code. And the tax code says this: on a residential rental property, you can depreciate the building, not the land. You can't depreciate land, the building, over 27 and a half years. So say you bought that $300,000 house and they've got the land valued at $75,000. You can take $225,000, divide it by 27 and a half, and find out how much money you can defer on your taxes per year. And that is savings now, so that you can save and invest even more money to let your net worth go to work for you. And you don't have to take my word for it, because it's 2026. You guys love ChatGPT. You love AI. So before I started this video, I asked ChatGPT, if I bought a $300,000 home with 20% down, assuming just a 4.5% appreciation and $300 a month in cash flow, how much total net worth would owning that house give me over the next 20 years? And I think you're gonna love this number. ChatGPT told me my net worth would increase by $590,000 by buying one rental property. So you wanna be a real estate millionaire? Go buy two $300,000 rentals, wait 20 years, and you in fact will be a real estate millionaire. My name is Jeff Borham. I hope you found this video helpful. Please smash that subscribe button and message me with any questions or ideas for my next video.